After tonight's win, the Bombers are 21-9 through 30 games. It's the 21st time in the last century that the Bombers have 20 or more wins through 30 games, not including strike-shortened seasons. In the previous 20 times that that's occurred, the Yanks have reached the World Series 18 of those 20 times. That's a pretty good ratio.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, and by the way,
I like that open.
They've won the World Series 15 of those times.
We're talking 75% of the time.
Is this an overreaction that the Yanks are legit World Series contenders based on those numbers?
Oh, boy. I'd love to say that those numbers just are a golden road paved right to the Fall Classic.
That can't
for
be
the
a
Bombers.
happenstance, though. I mean, that's pretty. When you do it 20 times and 18 of them, you go to the show? All the way to the biggest place you can go in baseball?
Dave, I'd have to look inside some of these numbers. Some, I would imagine, some of those starts featured guys like Ruth, Gehrig, DiMaggio,
Probably.
Mantle, Berra, Maris. You got those guys, you're going to win some rings.
Jeter, Rivera.
Right. I think this is a great, great start for the Yankees. I think they're playing very free and easy. I think they're playing with that sort of, look, we didn't have a ton of expectations.
No.
We're here. We're ahead of schedule.
They
we're
were
hitting.
favored to win their own division.
Nice mix of baby bombers, getting in there with the old guard like Brett Gardner. Ellsbury's hitting a little bit right now. Matt Holliday's been a godsend for this team. But it's all about the pitching staff. I think they've got a really good bullpen, and when you can go Betances to Chapman, that's a nice formula when you have a lead. But it's all about the health and the consistency of this pitching staff. If Tanaka can be the Tanaka of the last 5 starts, then you've got an ace.
Great.
If Severino can be that guy that pitched in Fenway last week, that pitched in Wrigley on Sunday, then you've got a bona fide number 2. Same thing with Pineda. That's a guy who's a big hulking kid that when he pitches, when he doesn't pitch cute, when he kind of, little Nutella?
Whatever's on there seems to be working.
If he's pitching, going after guys, aggressive, finishing at bats, finishing innings, then you've got 3 pretty good starters. Now, CC is kind of, that wild card that so far has pitched pretty good.
Get you some innings at
Get
least.
5 innings, get out of Dodge, and hand it over to the bullpen. But, those are guys that all don't have a clean track record. We've seen Severino come off of a bad year last year. Pineda's been wildly inconsistent. Tanaka's been hurt and somewhat inconsistent, even though he's been their best pitcher since coming over. Really, the big picture hopes of this team completely lie in the effectiveness, the consistency, and the relative health of the starting pitching rotation.
They lead right now the American League in homers, slugging, and ribbies. They're
are
hitting
hitting
the cover off the baseball. Because of where you are, maybe it's accelerated, as you mentioned. The old Yankee way, as you well know, is at the deadline, let's go get some hired guns and push this over the top. If they do that, would you be okay with it? Because it seems like they're going farm system, old school 90s, which worked with the Riveras and the Jeets that we talked about, and you're getting the Judges and the Sanchez and those guys up through your farm system. Would you want to buck that trend now because maybe it's accelerated and, maybe the window's open a little bit earlier than we thought?
I think if you're there, they need pitching, and I think you could use a pitcher no matter what. I think they're going to be active looking for a pitcher in the offseason. So if that market jumps up to midseason at the deadline, you're right in the thick of it. You're leading the AL East or in one of those playoff contention spots, depending on who's healthy, who's on the DL, who's effective, who's not. I could clearly see them going for a pitcher now. I hate to give you kind of the token toe-the-line answer. What I would like to see them do is become active. They haven't had the chips previously to become buyers at the deadline. That's why last year, for the first time in forever, they were actually sellers, and they restocked the cupboard.
It worked.
You get the Gleyber Torres, you get the Fraziers, and these kids out there that are very, very good players and guys that are going to be part of the Yankees for years to come. If you get the right deal, you don't want to empty the cupboard back up. You don't go from empty to stocked to empty, but if you move 1 or 2 guys for the right piece, I'd like to see them. I'd like to see them be buyers at the deadline.
I'll take Torres off your hands. I got a little Matt Harvey. How would you like that little New York deal?
I'm not drunk yet. I usually wait till after the show. So no, you can keep your Dark Knight and his headaches and his.
It's just misunderstood. Just needs a new place of scenery at the same city.
So what? The Bronx? He's gonna take the 7 train.
Different exit and different train.
Yeah, no, he's got to get further out of the Big Apple and just borough hopping.